Welcome to Lunch with Legacy Leaders, a weekly talk show with local and national thought leaders on issues impacting the Black community. Now introducing our host, Miss Anne Marie Sorrell.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Lunch with Legacy Leaders. I am your host, Anne-Marie Sorrell, President and CEO of the Mosaic Group. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us again on another Thursday, amazing Thursday that is. Before we get started with our broadcast, I'd like to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Our sponsors are Broward Health, AARP, the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, and the African American Black Alzheimer's Disease Initiative at the John P. Hussman Institute for Human Genomics, University of Miami Miller School of Medicine. If you or someone you know is experiencing loss of memory or memory problems, please contact their research team for more information at 877-686-6444. Today's special guest, as we talk about a very hot topic. If anybody's following the real estate market, you definitely want to hear our show today. So we have V. Escarment, who's the president and CEO of Generational Wealth through Home Ownership. And later we'll be joined by Theresa Bowe of Luxury Real Estate Agent. Hello, V.
Hello, how are you doing, Anne-Marie?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Yes, I'm excited, very excited.
Absolutely. So I'm going to just briefly go through part of your bio to formally introduce you to our audience. So just bear with me for a moment. V. Escarment is an award-winning singer, SAGAFTRA actress, CEO, entrepreneur, speaker, and host. She's a native of Miami and a graduate of Bowe University. She is the president and CEO of Generational Wealth through Homeownership, Inc., a 501c3 nonprofit housing counseling agency. And she's the president and CEO of Generational Wealth through Real Estate, LLC. She is a member of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, Women's Council of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, Community Reinvestment Alliance of South Florida, Haitian American Chamber of Commerce of Florida, United Developers Council, Minority Builders Coalition, and more. V is the vice president of the South Florida Board of Realtors Foundation. She has her NCHEC certification in home ownership counseling, pre-purchase homeownership education, foreclosure prevention, and financial capabilities. V adopts the national industry standards and can be trusted to provide consistent, high-quality information. She is a HUD certified counselor, certified real estate developer, property preservationist specialist, and she has her notary license through the state of Florida. So thank you again for joining us, V. So we're going to just dive right into the conversation. V, are you frozen? I don't know if she got frozen.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about your organization. It seems that you have both a for-profit and a nonprofit entity.
Yes, my nonprofit entity is called Generational Wealth through Homeownership, Inc. It's the 501c3 housing counseling agency, and we service the low to moderate income community in the Tri-County area of Miami-Dade County, Broward County, and Palm Beach County. And what we do a lot of workshops on first-time home buyers, on post-purchase workshops. We do home maintenance, repair workshops. We do a lot of financial literacy workshops. We do debt management workshops, and we do the pre-purchase one-on-one counseling, preparing people to purchase a home. We do the post-purchase counseling. Once you've already purchased a home, things that you can do to keep the home. We do a lot of budgeting, helping people with credit counseling to improve their credit scores on the nonprofit end. And for the for-profit end, we basically work on affordable housing. So we are working right now to build affordable housing in the low to moderate income communities. And our goal is to impact the community one person at a time, one family at a time. And that's our goal.
Awesome, awesome. It looks like we have Theresa with us now, so I want to go ahead and introduce Theresa. Hello, Theresa.
How are you guys? Good morning, good evening, everybody.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Awesome. Well, real quick, I'm just going to formally introduce you as well to our audience. I'm just reading a really quick snippet of your bio. Theresa Bowe is a mother, author, serial entrepreneur, philanthropist, music executive, and a successful luxury real estate agent. After almost a decade of dating, she married her best friend, former NFL wide receiver Dwayne Bowe of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns. Theresa launched her career in real estate, becoming a member of the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing and completed the Harvard Law School program for negotiation, making her known in luxury real estate as the master negotiator. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So I was just, V was just telling us about her organization and all the great work that they do in the community, especially as it relates to affordable housing. Would you like to share with us a little bit more about your organization and the market that you specifically focus on, which is luxury real estate?
Right. So I brand myself as a luxury realtor just because when you're dealing with a certain class of real estate, you have to look the part, you have to know the part. And, just when you're dealing with clients that sell multi-million-dollar homes, they want to look for experts in that market. So I brand myself as a luxury realtor, but I do deal with affordable housing. I do not discriminate when it comes to pricing, when it comes to whether someone's renting or buying or selling for that fact. But the luxury real estate part of how I brand myself is strictly because you have to be branded that way to step into that market, especially being an African-American woman, okay? But when it comes to the affordable sector of real estate, meeting V was a blessing, okay? I've been doing real estate for 15 years, and when I met her at this photo shoot, I was like, when she told me what she did, I was excited. Because, I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of family that are first-time home buyers, and up until meeting her, I just heard about the programs. I was asking around, I was doing my research. I never physically met someone or even had someone point me in the right direction to where I can now offer this to the friends, to the family, to the clients that come to me and tell me that they are a first-time home buyer. I really didn't know up to this point what to do. So meeting B and hearing about all the amazing things that she is able to afford people is a blessing. So I'm excited to venture into this new market of helping people get down payment assistance, closing cost assistance, because so many people come to me and they're like, I want to buy a home. And they're renters at the time, okay? We all start out as renters. And I'm like, it's completely different than first month rent, last month rent security. You're getting it to thousands of dollars, where a lot of people, you have to have that cushion and you have to have it in your bank. There's a lot of things that have to be in place before you can buy a home. So this event is going to be amazing. I feel like it's going to open up a lot of people's eyes. It's going to put people in position to get ready. Even if you walk into this event like, I'm ready to buy a home, and then you actually get there and realize there's so much more. Go ahead.
Okay, well, hold off on that because we're going to get to the event in a minute. But before we do that, because I think people really need to understand what's happening in the real estate market. It is a crazy seller's market right now. I've been looking for a property since December, and it has been almost impossible to find something that's what I consider a good deal. So I want to hear from both of you on, sharing your insight on the current real estate market here in South Florida. And if you had a crystal ball, what would you predict? How would you predict this market going for the next 12 to 24 months? Because I don't think any of us predicted that, with the pandemic, this market would be this crazy. And are we in a bubble? Is this going to be a bubble that's going to pop? So I kind of want to get your insight on the market first before we really dive into home ownership and real estate investing and things like that.
Okay. So I would say that for me right now, I would say that it is a lot of inflation going on in the market right now of real estate. Because I've even seen a story where somebody, just to get the home, they paid over $300,000 more just to move into the house. I think it's a lot of inflation. In the next 12 to 24 months, I do see that prices are going to go down. I do see that in the next 12 to 24 months is going to be a better, I guess, time to purchase a home. because it's so much inflation right now in the market. So I do see the prices coming down.
Awesome. What about you, Theresa? What are your thoughts?
For me, you have your seller's agents and you have your buyer agents, and I've been a buyer agent mostly my whole entire career. I really don't do a lot of listings. So for the listing agent, I mean, this is an exciting time for them because, things are flying off the market. They're getting way more. They're satisfying their customers. Before the buyer side of things, it's been very stressful. Like, the situation that you just spoke upon, I've been running into that so much. It's like you're out, you're showing properties, they act as if it's available, then it's time to place an offer, and now here we go. I have 10 offers, it's inflated, it's really, really bad. And as far as predicting, everyone keeps asking me that, and I'm wondering if I'm giving my clients bad information when I'm telling them to wait, because I'm like, what if? Everything's so unpredictable. We never thought COVID, we never thought, we would be here to where people are having to pay over the market price. So, I was just talking to my husband about that last night. I'm like, I hope I'm not being a disservice to my clients, telling them to wait and nothing changes in the next 12 months or nothing changes in the next 24 months. It just keeps going. It's just, there's really no way to predict this market, unfortunately. And, of course you say rub this crystal ball, but I'm so afraid to say that because, we all hope that it stabilizes and it gets back down to normal. But, real estate is an asset. And what does it do? It's supposed to increase over time. Unfortunately, it just happened so drastically. I mean, it's just been drastic and it's been quick. So it's unfortunate. So I'm just hoping that it does stabilize. When we talk about it dropping, that's going to be bad for the people that jumped in and purchased at this time, because now they're going to be, at negative equity. So I'm just hoping that great things happen, it stabilizes, and we get back to normal.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point about the negative equity. Being someone who was a part of the 2007, 2008 frenzy, and then when the bottom fell out, I felt that negative equity in a big way. so I know that that's definitely, a factor for people to consider. So with that being said, we're talking about home ownership, and home ownership being a way to create, or at least start to develop, generational wealth. And so I want to hear both of your perspectives on this, because, for some people, is it you buy a single family home? Do you buy a multi-family home first? Is there a benefit of either or, especially in this type of market right now?
So for me,
I would say, for me personally, I would say with generational wealth, my mom, she was basically a woman from the Caribbean. She came to America and she purchased a home. And I would say that with that home, she stayed in that home 24 years. And with that home, she built generational wealth for me and my brother. Because when she passed, me and my brother, we inherited her home. So I do think it is important, generational wealth, leaving a legacy for your children, for your family. Because with that property, I was able to stay in that property for some years. After some years, I was able to sell the property and purchase another property and do other real estate investments. The same thing with my brother. So I would say that having home ownership is a source to get generational wealth for people. So that's my personal experience with that, generational wealth. And to part B of your question, there's many ways that you can get generational wealth. With my mother was through a single family home. But then if you are able to, you can do generational wealth through a multi-family unit where you can stay in one and rent the other sections out and basically make residual income through that.
Okay. Theresa?
So, real estate is real estate for the most part, but, a lot of people, I'm very honest with my clients. I'm like, look, your primary residence is not always an asset. It's a lot of times a liability. You know what I mean? It's like, everything that happens in your household pretty much is your responsibility. There's no landlord to fix a hot water heater when it bursts, or a roof when it leaks, all of those things. So a lot of my single moms that I deal with, I do try to push them into getting multifamily units, mainly because, the struggle is real out here. And when it comes to paying your mortgage, if you have a tenant on the side or two tenants on the side, up to a 4-family home and you're actually getting to live for free is a completely different benefit versus paying the mortgage yourself and then dealing with all the responsibilities of the property. So I'm an advocate for multi-unit properties. I definitely feel like, especially a lot of single parents, like I said, I deal with a lot of single women and the struggle of being a mom, having to afford everything for your child and child care, and the list goes on and on. We're all women on this phone call, and I know there's a lot of women listeners, and I'm not saying this is only for women, but a lot of single moms benefit greatly from having multi-unit, and both of them, like V said, will become an asset and you will get equity and you'll pay off. But when it comes to having your tenants, you're living for free and they're actually paying your mortgage. So it's like a win-win situation all the way around the board. So even if you decide to move into that single family home, essentially, if you get a 15-year mortgage and you have these tenants paying on this property for 15 years, now you have a property that's free and clear. So there's the benefit of the generational wealth that V is talking about. Now you can use it as just a cash flow property, and it's just a benefit. So anyone that's listening to that, if you have not thought of a multi-unit situation, it is extremely beneficial. Most people want to say my house, oh, this is my house. They want the big house, but it's still your house and it's your asset. And as V, reiterate over and over, generational wealth is real, and it is such a benefit, especially when you do have children, to leave something to.
Absolutely. Now, before we get into some of the opportunities for first-time home buyers, I do want to go back to the multifamily, because in this particular market, being someone that's why it's taking me so long, because that's what I've been searching for. It's a very cautionary market, even with looking for multifamily, because they're so overpriced that even when you look at the rent versus the mortgage on most of these properties, it's like you're at a negative in most cases right now in the current market, where it's like, okay, trying to find that right deal where it at least breaks even at the moment has been crazy. So I don't know, if you have any thoughts on that, as people may be considering to look at that as an option, especially in this particular market where, a duplex is $450,000, $500,000. And a maximum rent you might be able to get in a particular neighborhood or wherever is maybe $1,500 a month, and your mortgage is going to be, $3,000 plus dollars. So you're in some cases not even breaking even. What do you say to that person who may be looking for the multifamily opportunity, but in this particular overpriced market?
I mean, I think it's unfortunate all the way around the board. I don't think there's any way to avoid certain things, because a lot of times people are selling right now and they're selling with tenants in them. So the rent is so low that these tenants were paying prior to the pandemic to now, that they're selling these properties and the rent won't even cover the mortgage. I've ran into several situations like that as well, and I'm just in shock. And like I said, I don't think this is the best time to buy when it comes to, just trying to win. But if you're going to buy versus rent, that's a whole different ballpark, because you still have to live and you still have to pay rent, whether it's a mortgage or not. But when it comes to the actual, positive cash flow or anything like that, this may not be the time to get in the best situation. But we all still have to have a place to lay our heads. So we're going to have to buy something, unfortunately.
Absolutely. So let's talk about and I just wanted to point that out just for people who may be looking at that as an option, because you can purchase a multifamily as a first-time home buyer, as long as you're going to occupy one. I know you guys are going to get into that as well, with some of the down payment assistance programs and different things that people can look forward to. So let's talk about it. What are the opportunities that are available to first-time home buyers, or those who may have purchased a property in the past and maybe they lost it in the last real estate, boom/crash, or maybe some other life situation, happened where, they had to no longer have that property, but years later, they now qualify to purchase a property again. So what are some opportunities that are available to those in our, listening and viewing area?
Okay, with down payment assistance, there are a lot of different cities, counties offering assistance to first-time home buyers. And when they say first-time home buyer, you don't initially have to be a first-time home buyer. You can be a person who purchased in the past and lost it through the recession, or let's say that you sold it during the recession. and now you're ready to purchase again. They have a lot of different down payment assistance programs. They have City of Miramar up to 50,000, Pembroke Pines up to 50,000. They have Tamarack up to 40,000. Broward County has their program where they can give up to 40,000 to different cities such as Davie, Plantation, Weston, Wilton Manors. It's a lot of different down payment assistance programs out right now. They even have in Miami-Dade County PHCD program where you can get up to $80,000 for down payment assistance. City of Miami Beach where you can get up to $150,000. You have City of Boca Raton where they were giving up to $90,000. So it's a lot of different down payment assistance programs in the Tri-County area of Miami-Dade County, Broward County, and Palm Beach County right now.
Oh, awesome. And what are some of the eligibility requirements that people should consider for these type of down payment assistance programs?
A lot of the down payment assistance programs, they're looking for 2 years of stable employment. And 2 years stable employment, they want to see that you've been in the same field for 2 years. They also want to see a credit score of 620 or above for that. And they also want you to also bring some money to the table. So depending on the down payment assistance program, I've seen it as low as 1% they want you to put down. The highest I've seen is 3% they want you to put down. Even though you're getting a lot of money from them, they want you to also come in with something.
Okay. Now, is this based on the person's income, size of their family? How do they factor in how much a person gets towards their down payment assistance?
Yes, it is based on your income and your family size. Each city has a particular chart. Each city does something called income certification. And so they are going to look at your family size and look at your income. And based on the chart that they have, they'll let you know if you qualify or if you don't qualify for assistance. Normally, down payment assistance is usually goes up to 80%, but it depends. I've seen cities like Wilton Manor going up to like 120%, and I've seen some programs in Miami-Dade going up to that too. PACD up to 140%, so it depends. But normally it's up to 80%.
Okay, can you? Just for numbers purposes, for our folks who might be listening who may not be aware of how the percentages work, can you give maybe an example of if you're a say you have 2 persons in a household, what's the minimum or maximum income requirement to annual income requirement to qualify?
Okay. Like an example would be 2 people in a household. I've seen some charts where the most that you can make for 2 people in a household is $48,000. Now, if you're 2 people and you're making $80,000, then you wouldn't qualify for that particular city. Okay.
Well, I just want to give some type of reference to our audience, so they understand that how it's kind of based. And Theresa, do you have anything to add to that as it relates to some of the different programs or down payment assistance?
Well, V is definitely the expert when it comes to the assistance part of this. So like she did an amazing job just now. And I just love the way when she's reminding people that, this is an assistance program. That means they're assisting you with your down payment. They're not totally pretty much giving you 100% of the down payment. So I think that was something amazing that she pointed out, because I think a lot of people do think, oh, I'm getting the down payment. You're being assisted with your down payment, and you do have to bring something to the table. So that was important to hear.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to segue into, and while I have you here, Theresa, or please share, you kind of started getting into it in the beginning. Share with us your top 3 tips to someone who is looking to either purchase a home or maybe buy another property for investment. What are some of your tips that you'd like to share from your experience?
Before even thinking of going that route, pre-qualification. because we all want to buy things that sometimes we're not prepared to buy. And it's a process where we can get prepared. So, I even had a young lady that contacted me yesterday. I was looking for a rental. She wanted to switch over to a purchase immediately. She's like, oh, my price range is, and I was like, we need to get you qualified first, because you may think your price range is that. Now, to get to that price range, you may need to bring $100,000 to the table because you're only qualified through the bank for XYZ. So I just urge everybody, the first thing is make sure you are qualified, because during that qualification process, they're going to let you know about your credit as well. So if you have any credit issues that you have to fix, that would be the second thing that you're going to have to keen into, is your credit, to make sure you are at a point. And like V just said, 620 is what qualifies for the programs that she's talking of, right? But some banks want you to be higher than that. If you're going conventional, if you're going, different ways, your credit score is super duper important or whatever. When it comes to the history of your job, when it comes to tax returns, a lot of people are working independently and they're not filing taxes correctly. So there are programs right now that just resurfaced that are doing 100% financing, where there's, no doc loans. Let's just say that, no doc loans, to where you do not need your W-2s, but now they rely on your bank statements. So do you have money sitting in the bank? So there's the things that I would say is credit, pre-qualification, and just like, when it comes to you filing your taxes is important. I mean, either your taxes, or you have to have the right amount of money in the bank sitting where they can actually see it for a period of time.
Now, let me touch on the taxes for a minute, because you're an entrepreneur. Both of you ladies are entrepreneurs. And we do have a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs that watch our show. And I think there's definitely some differences when an entrepreneur or business owner, someone who's self-employed, goes to purchase a home versus, a person who has a regular W-2, for example. And because entrepreneurs like to maybe report a little less at times on their taxes, what advice can you give specifically entrepreneurs that are looking to purchase a home, or purchase, multifamily, whatever it may be, purchase real estate in general?
Okay, so for me, it's preparation, because a lot of my entrepreneur friends, they know they're purchasing a home or a business, whatever it is that they're seeking. You have to get your taxes right. You have to claim what you need to claim to make sure you are in the door correctly. That's just the bottom line. The hard part is having to give Uncle Sam that check. But the beauty of it is that you're getting to, you're building your future with doing the right thing to get what you need. So it's just filing correctly. If you have to make $80,000 or $100,000 a year, you have to write less things off. You have to do things to make sure that your bottom line is sufficient.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Theresa. Now, V, can you share with us your top 3 tips?
I would say the top 3 tips for me is definitely you want to have some money saved if you're looking to purchase a home. So definitely work on saving money. You can even use your income tax money. I've even seen some clients, I've actually helped some clients close who had family members give them a gift seed where they got a check from the family member as down payment assistance. I even had a client who was in something called Partner SOSO, and that chief officer was able to write them a $7,000 check from there, and they were able to close on the home. So it is a lot of different ways that you can get your down payment assistance. And I would say number 2, you want to make sure with your credit, you don't have any collections, any judgments, liens, anything of that nature. And I would say number 3 would be your taxes are very important. I've worked with entrepreneurs, and one example I can give is one of the entrepreneurs, it was a barber, and he made $90,000 a year, but he took out so many tax deductions that it came down to $25,000 that he actually made for the year. So you want to be very careful if you are an entrepreneur with doing these deductions on your taxes, because the lower you make, the lower you qualify for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you have an event coming up. Let's talk about this event. Sounds pretty exciting. I see you have a great lineup of speakers. V, you want to tell us about it, and Theresa chime in, because Theresa started getting into it when she first got on. So I know you're super excited about it.
Yes, I'm very, very excited to partner with Theresa for us to do this event. Basically, the event is June 26th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's a Saturday. And it's basically, admission is very low, $25. We want to make sure that anybody can afford it. We are going to have amazing speakers. We also have food, we have drinks, we have a DJ. We basically want to empower and educate people who come to this event so they can know their options. We have Theresa. Basically, she's the luxury real estate expert. I'll be doing it from the home housing counseling side with my organization, Generational Wealth. I also have Susan Wise, and basically she's Broward County. She's going to be speaking about the down payment assistance side of it. I have John Bowe. He's basically credit expert. He's going to be speaking to people about credit. I have the lender, Michael Coles from TD Bank. He's going to be speaking to people about how to qualify, get pre-approved for a mortgage.
Awesome.
And we also have different raffles. We have silent auction. We have a lot of great things going on.
Wow, sounds like a fun-filled, information-packed event. Theresa, anything you want to add to it?
I think anyone that's on the market looking or knows someone that's looking, this is definitely something that you want to urge anyone to invest their $25. I mean, that is a nominal price to pay for the knowledge that in the relationships that you're going to seek from this one event. I mean, you think about it, assistance, free money, something that, like she said, is different ways to get assistance with your down payment, but this is something that's forgiven. So like, I'm urging everybody to come. I've been posting it on my social media page. I'm just like, I'm really, really hyped because being able to help people, this is the biggest purchase that most people make. And just to be informed and going about it the correct way with the right tools around you is a win-win situation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, I hope everyone, we have the flyer posted on our screen. Of course, I want Theresa and V to give us, and you've given us a lot of golden nuggets, right? So your takeaway, your one takeaway or golden nugget that you'd like to leave with our audience.
For me, it's going to be, guys, you can go to Credit Karma, pull your credit. No, get ahead of the situation. Just see where you are when it comes to, your credit. And as you see things, just start fixing it. I just feel like credit is a lot of things that hold people back. People will be surprised they'll pull their credit and it's in the 5s and they had no idea. A lot of people do not pull their credit until it's absolutely needed. And that's when they have to, do that walk of shame because it's something that they could have fixed on their own. And they wait to when it really matters and that they really want to do something and they did not even know how bad it was. So pull your credit. If it's good, kudos to you. Good job. But if it's not the end of the world. It's nothing to be embarrassed over. You have people, it's going to be experts at the event that's actually going to be there to help you fix your credit. So it's just like, that's so important. Credit is gold and it's more powerful than cash. So once you leave this event, you too will be able to understand the power of your credit.
And how does someone reach you, Theresa, if they want to get in touch?
I'm very active on my social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm Mrs.82, MRSEIGHTYTWO is all spelled out, Mrs.82. I answer my DMs. I have a team around me that pretty much we interact with people, strangers, anyone that's seeking information. Please feel free to hop on Instagram and DM me.
Awesome. Ms. V, what's the takeaway golden nugget that you want to leave with our audience?
My takeaway is to know that anything is possible. Don't give up on your dreams. I can say from my end, there was actually a client and it was basically 3 generations. No one ever owned a home. Her grandma, her mom, everybody basically was leasing for many years. And she wanted to do home ownership, but she was afraid to do home ownership because she didn't think she would ever qualify to get a home. Basically I was able to work with her and she was able to close on a home. And I remember her statement to me at the time, I just thought I was doing my job, but I remember her telling me, oh, well, you're a life changer. You were able to help me fulfill my dream, get a home, and I'm the first generation in my family to purchase a home. And so I always tell people anything is possible as long as you work hard for it. God can lead you to it. God can bless you with it. So continue to work hard and you can fulfill the American dream of owning a home.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for this information. And V, how can our audience reach you?
They can actually reach me on Facebook via Escarment, Instagram at via Escarment. They can contact my business number 954-743-5640. They can also go on my website, gwthinc.org, gwtre.com.
Well, thank you for the amazing work you're both doing in our community. This is definitely, a great segment. We just had one of our comments say this has been very informative. So thank you for bringing this information and bringing the event that you're hosting. I think this is so important. We can't get enough of having a conversation around building generational wealth. We know that over the years, our community, especially after the recession, our community lost a lot of home ownership and now we've been rebuilding for years. So thank you for doing what you do and making sure that people know the resources that are available to them for them to transition from being a renter to a homeowner and thus leaving their own family legacy. Just stick with me for a couple of moments. Let me just do a few quick announcements. I want to thank our sponsors again, Broward Health, AARP, the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, and the African American Black Alzheimer's Disease Initiative at the John P. Husband Institute for Human Genomics, University of Miami Miller School of Medicine. Please check out the 2021 most popular and most powerful and influential Black business leaders in South Florida at miamediagrp.com. And please save the date for our next issue where we will be featuring the top educators in South Florida, which will come out on June 20th. So mark your calendar for June 20th. Make sure you pick up the Miami Herald that day and the Sun Sentinel. And make sure you tune in to our show, Soul, hosted by Ms. Nikki Jellin every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. as we disseminate intellectual entertainment on fashion, arts and culture, relationships, mental health, and food in South Florida. Be sure to share this video and mark your calendar for next Thursday at noon. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Okay.
Too.
Bye.
Thank you.